Hello, everyone out there who's listening. Well, this is a very special podcast because I'm here with my dad. My name is Daniel Haberdunk, and I'm 50 years old, and I happen to have my dad here from Australia, and he's never been part of a podcast, and this is his experience of actually being in a podcast. So what you've seen so far, we've had some setting up to do, microphones and cameras, and you've met Vinnie, our producer here. What are your thoughts about podcasting so far?
It's interesting, yes.
How so?
Well, I don't really into the technical stuff, but yeah, it's impressive when you see it, the real product on the end, or what you see on whatever YouTube or where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very rare you see the back end of it. Hey,
that's
so you
why.
just see
Yeah,
the microphones, but what are they attached
yeah,
to?
that's why. Yeah,
And that you actually have someone in the background
yeah,
taking
that's
everything.
why. Yeah.
Right. So I mentioned before you come from Australia, but let's go back because I don't get a chance to sit down and talk to you like this one-on-one very often. So I'm curious to know what it was like growing up in Germany. Let's say you were 8 years old. What was life like as an 8-year-old?
Well, it was like most of the kids in that age. We were in school, it's probably third grade or something like this. So in the mornings you wake up, you get dressed. As boys, we usually had some lederhosen, you know.
So there were no school uniforms?
They don't have school uniforms in Germany at all.
Oh.
So you just wear what you comfortable with or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, I had only one pair of pants.
You had one pair of lederhosen. That was
One
your
pair of
school-
lederhosen. Lederhosen is, the beauty about the lederhosen was you wear them in.
Ah,
Once they new, they all stiff and whatever.
yeah.
But once you wear them in after a few months, you just unbuckle the button
Yeah.
and they drop down.
Oh.
And you can basically step out of them.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the morning, you basically step back in, pull them up, but buckle up again, or the
So they were
button.
really stiff then. What made them so stiff?
Well, it's leather.
But it's not soft leather like we get here
Ah,
today.
no,
These
this-
days,
It's
remember, people
rough,
don't know
rough
what.
leather. Yeah,
Right.
it's not the top layer of the leather. That is like a suede, but the rough side.
Ah,
So, and if it gets wet, it gets hard and prickly. So once you get it wet, but because you wear them all the time, like I said, you wear them in, and then they fit to your body.
right.
They're custom made for your body.
Stiff and
They-
to your body. Right.
They're not suitable for somebody else. It takes them a while to bloody wear them in.
Oh my God.
But you have them for years.
Yep.
And then, of course, you had a pair of nice pants for when you Sundays. Sundays always being a special day.
So when you say Sundays is a special day, are you talking about, is that when your family goes to church or just
No,
Sundays
no. It's just
make an effort to look
Sunday
proper?
was a special day. I mean, that was the day usually, in that time, where everyone was at home. A lot of people went to church or so. For us, was mainly in the summertime or in overtime. We had a garden plot.
Okay.
My dad was a keen gardener.
Yeah.
Yeah, the garden plot.
So
That was
for
probably-
people that don't know what a garden plot is, explain what a garden plot is.
It's like a gardening club. Like you have the community gardens these days.
Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was in a bigger scale. Community garden, so we have one little, what you call it, a 5 square meter block or something,
Okay.
where you plant what you want, but you look after the other plants as well.
Is that allocated to you as a member of the community, or
This-
how do you claim it? Do you buy it?
No, you have to apply for it, and it's usually the land is usually from the council.
Oh.
It's like what do you call it? It's run like a club.
Oh, okay, right.
So it's a club. It's a registered club. They got a clubhouse. It's like the retirement village setup.
Okay.
You know, where
Yeah.
you got the main building,
Yes.
a big fence around, and then you have all these little villas.
Ah, that's how.
In
it
this
works.
case, you have garden plots. You have around 500 square meter garden plot.
Mhm.
You were allowed to put, I think, 15 square meters
Yeah.
of a shed up.
Oh, you can even build a shed on your allocated plot.
Well,
then?
yeah,
Ah.
but a small one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a shed.
Yeah.
So, and you were allowed to have 30 square meters of that garden as a lawn,
Ah.
and the rest had to be a garden. So you had all your cabbage and cucumbers and whatever. And then I think 10 square meters you could have flowers or rose bushes.
Okay.
That's it. But it was very organized, so no one could just join up and then don't worry about gardening. I have a big outdoor area. That wasn't. So you had to
Like attend to it.
attend to it, yeah, definitely. And also once a month you had to come voluntary. You have to get so many hours for the whole community, because around the clubhouse and so there was a garden area and they had a little canteen or whatever. So you had to volunteer for the whole area.
Mm.
Was self-sufficient. So that's where my dad used to live in the summer times. So he, after work or especially on the weekends, he put his dog. We had a little dachshund,
Right.
and
They call it Dackel
the duck.
Ein Dackel.
Yeah.
in German. That's what I
Oh,
remember. Yeah.
He had a big old-fashioned leatherback. So the dachshund jumped into it. Susie was her name. And then he hooked it onto the handlebar of his push bike, and they took off. And it was around 5 kilometer ride
Wow.
to the garden plot, because they're usually outside the centrums.
hmm Central cities. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And that's when he spent a couple of hours. So on the weekends, like I said, Sundays usually in the summertime, the whole family goes up to the garden plot.
Right.
The kids play in the playground near the clubhouse, and
So they weren't made to do the gardening. It was just like almost like their weekend.
the garden
trip or
plot was
something.
for whoever leased that one or
Yeah.
applied for it. So that was my dad's garden plot.
Oh, okay. Right.
So of course you could bring the family, but you couldn't live there.
Yep.
So you had to leave in. Yeah, you had to leave in the evening. I think after 8 o'clock you
Oh, okay.
weren't sort of not allowed anymore. The gate was locked,
Yep.
and they opened up at 5 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
They all had a key for the gate. Whoever
Ah,
had
okay.
a garden plot.
Ah.
So, but that was the standing. After 8 o'clock, no one is there anymore.
Right.
If you come back
Mm.
to, you forgot something, that's no problem.
Yeah.
But it's just they wanted to make sure no one lives there.
Takes advantage and
Yeah.
lives there, makes it a home.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what they do.
So that was your Sunday. So you were the
That
scrawny.
was a Sunday, yeah.
you were the scrawny little kid with lederhosen.
Yeah.
Tell us about your way to school. Okay, you got dressed, you got your lederhosen on. What was it that you had for breakfast?
Oh, in these days, I don't think we had breakfast. Very rare. I mean, I grew up as a Schlüsselkind. That is, you were kids, they haven't had the mum at home. So
It's called a Schlüsselkind. So
you had the house key around your neck.
Because Schlüssel is key in German,
Yeah,
for
that's
those
right,
who don't
yeah.
know. So
Yeah.
he was a key kid.
So that's what they call.
Because you were the
children.
oldest, you were the key kid? Or all the kids were key kids? No, you weren't the oldest. Why did you have the key?
That's what they classified him as.
Ah.
When both people or
work.
parents working or whatever.
Yeah.
So you were basically self-sufficient
Okay.
from early.
And
early
you were
days
allowed
on.
that? Was there any age restriction at that time?
No,
Now you
there
have to
was-
be 14 before you're allowed to leave your kid at home?
Usually the older ones had to look after the smaller ones or younger ones.
So how old or how young can the oldest be to look after the rest of the kids?
Well, if you're the oldest, you look after as soon the next one comes along.
So if you're 8 years old,
Yeah.
you are responsible for your brothers and sisters who are 5 and 6 years old.
Well, I have an older sister.
Yeah.
Lucky me. So
And she was what?
3 years older than
So
me.
she was 13. Well,
So she
no,
was 11 by then.
So she was the top.
She was basically the top, yeah.
The top, as an 11-year-old?
So she was in
the
charge when mum or dad was around.
Ah,
So that's it.
top. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't have that these days.
Well, and it worked.
Yep.
It was complicated, but yeah, because I'm the only male
Mm.
on the siblings. I got 5 sisters. So,
Okay. And he's
So-
still alive. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it was sort of an advantage
Mm-hmm.
because yeah, I sort of did my boys stuff and the girls did their girls stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the morning, so what did your, I guess, 11-year-old sister prepare you for breakfast, or you didn't?
Well, she
eat?
didn't prepare for breakfast. If you wanted breakfast, you go and see what you can find. If there's anything in the kitchen, if
Yeah.
there's some bread left over from the yesterday,
Yeah.
then yeah, you're lucky you can eat it.
So
And then you make
So
yourself...
there was no cereal or such or fruit
no,
lying
cereal.
around.
Cereal is a modern thing that came
yeah,
in.
right.
No, these days what you do, you find some bread.
Yeah.
We use a lot of lard.
Okay. Right.
That was
Lard is
instead of
yeah.
butter or margarine, what lard.
It's just a fatty substance that's flavorless a lot of the time.
It's processed dripping.
Okay.
or-
Yeah. Processed dripping. Yeah. Dripping.
Yeah,
it's dripping.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it sounds horrible these days, but I still like that stuff, and I still
That on
eat
bread,
it.
and that's
yeah,
it.
Yeah. Well, a bit of salt on it, and
Yeah.
it tastes fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And summer, winter, it always tastes good. I mean, margarine and butter will go off.
Yeah. Lard. It's
In the summertime,
nuclear
when we-
warproof.
yeah. In the summertime, sometimes you go to the public swimming pool because they only open in the summertime.
Yeah.
And you take your lunch. There is no, here's a couple of dollars and buy yourself a drink or something.
Yeah,
You take
yeah.
everything with it.
Mm.
And the only thing what would last without cooling is a lard sandwich.
Okay. Right.
It gets liquid.
Yes.
It soaks into the
The
bread.
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't change the taste.
Okay.
And yeah,
Bring back lard, I say.
oh, that's right. Yeah.
People
so,
are complaining they don't have school lunches. A bit of bread and some lard.
yeah. So
Yeah.
no breakfast in that sense. If you had enough time,
Yeah.
then if you find some bread in the fridge, then or in the bread box.
Mm.
We don't have a bread box. We all had the dry bread, the
Yeah.
big, no sliced bread these days, so that's it.
Mm.
Yeah, you cut something off, and then if you have margarine, you could put some margarine on.
Yeah. What about to drink? Did you get milk delivered? Was that a
No, milk was
abundant
something
thing?
special, really special.
Really?
Yeah.
So what did you
We
drink?
had water, basically water.
Water from the tap?
Yeah,
Or not
of
from the
course.
local
Yeah,
well?
no.
It wasn't
No. It's tap water.
Yeah,
No.
okay.
It's not.
So the tap water at the time was drinkable. It
It's
wasn't
always
filtered or
drinkable.
anything.
Yeah, I don't think there was any. If you got tap water, it's usually drinkable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I never heard of potable water
Yes.
until I came to New Zealand or Australia. Water out of the tap in Germany is drinkable.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
whatever it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, for any of that, just to give everyone reference who's
Yeah.
listening to this, we're talking about a time when you were 8 years old.
Yes, that's
And what
right.
year would have been that? 2000 and...
1960.
2000. I said 2000 and... Of course.
1960.
1960? Yeah,
Then,
okay.
I
1960s.
was 8 years old
Germany.
in
Yeah.
1960.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
All right. So, you got your lederhosen, you've had your bit of lard in your stomach.
Well,
Lucky
yeah.
it was a good day that there was some.
Yeah.
What was your on your way to school? Did you take a bus? Did you ride? Did you have to walk?
You walk. The first day at school, that when you were 5, 6 years old,
Yeah.
you get this big.
You're talking about the Schultüte.
Yeah, Schultüte, yeah.
Which is a
A cone.
school bag.
Yeah.
It's a special thing. I'll just explain this.
Yeah.
There's a special thing for, especially for the first day of school. You get basically a goodie bag because you're brave enough to go to school. It makes you feel better. All the kids get to carry around this huge. What is
Yeah,
it?
that's
It's
right.
like
The
triangle cone thing. A
Yeah,
triangle
yeah.
cone. Usually has a ball on the top there, and you walk around with that.
Colourful, yeah.
It's almost like a little safety blanket in a way. And it makes kids feel welcome to go to school. Okay, so you had one of those. Anything good in there? What did you have in your
well, like you
school
said,
bag?
usually
Schultüte.
a ball on the top, so
Yeah.
it looks full.
Exactly.
And then, yeah.
Then there may be something else.
There
or
might
may
be a few lollies in there in
Yeah,
the bottom
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Nothing too extreme, but yeah, it was something special. Just to get you to school.
And you're not allowed to eat it at school either. You have to take it home to eat it.
No. You take it home again. Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
And that is basically the first day. And the second day, you either go with your older siblings to school, because you already go to school.
So you just walk with them?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was usually the same school. Even they had separate schools then, still
Oh,
girls and boys.
okay.
But in the same building, it's like the same building, but the left side is the girls' entrance,
Okay.
and the right side was the boys' entrance.
Okay.
And the straight to the middle, that is all the recreation area,
Yeah.
girls and the boys on the
So
other
even
side.
at lunchtime, they didn't mingle? They had their own
No,
separate
you
areas?
couldn't mingle. You had to stay in your
Okay.
area.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, what were your classes like? So you started school. What kind of subjects did you deal with on a day-to-day basis? Was it just the four main ones? Language, I guess
Well,
German,
basically,
maths, science,
yeah.
and that's it? And
German,
sport?
The language, writing, and so, and maths.
Yes.
That was the three main thing. Of course, once a week you had a sport.
Mm-hmm.
Once a week you had religion
Okay.
as well.
Was religion a compulsory one at that?
No, it
in the
wasn't
60s?
compulsory.
Okay.
You had 1 hour a week religious things.
Yes.
But if you don't had that religion, so you did something else. I don't
Is
know.
it free time or kind of thing, or did they have any other? Could you learn
It wasn't
sewing
free
or
time.
something
No, you
like
had to
that,
do
or-
something else. I
Okay.
don't know what it was.
Okay.
My memory is a bit blurry about
Okay.
that stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But I remember that I was actually, at that time, they changed to mixed classes.
Ah, okay, right.
So,
Ah,
and about in my third grade,
yes.
I was the lucky one who was one of three in the whole girls' class.
That's
we
how
had-
you
we
became
had
so
about
popular.
30 girls
Oh, wow.
and 3 boys in the classes. That was sort of the beginning when they started mixing classes up.
You must have been like a celebrity.
Well, I don't know about it, but I had to bloody heckling, or what you call it, needlework.
Oh, you had to do needlework.
I had needlework
This is
because the
from
main
a
class
bricklayer.
was needlework.
Needlework
yeah,
to
yeah.
bricklaying.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
well, that's
You
it.
thought, well, needlework's not for me. I'm gonna get. Okay.
Yeah, well, not at that age.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do, but yeah.
Wow.
That was my.
What was your favorite subject? Or what were you
really
quite good at?
I was never really good at anything, but I always got along everything. So I would say, I did all right for what effort I put in. I just got along. So I didn't excel anything, but I just hadn't any problems. So to tackle it, yeah.
Right.
So always in the middle ground.
Okay. And you never found what you kind of liked? A lot of talk about what people are passionate about. You never really found a passion within school? Like geography
No.
or history or, I guess, sport? Were you in the sport clubs there? But that was kind
I
of...
was never good in sport.
Okay.
I hardly went in organized sport. So,
Yeah.
of course, as a kid,
Swimming was a big
after
one
school,
too.
you
Yeah.
were out in the paddock somewhere
Mm-mm.
and played soccer
Yeah.
with all the other kids
Yeah.
in every age range. So that starts from 5 years to 12 or something.
Yes.
They all played soccer. You know, you just go after 2 o'clock or so. You go that garden, or
Yeah.
we were lucky. Our house was next to an old, next to farmland.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So and after the harvest,
Mm-hmm.
you played soccer on that.
Oh, that would have been a great field.
And that
Wow.
was a very great field, because if you fall over, you fall on the grain stoppers.
Yes.
And,
Oh, that would hurt.
Yeah, so you don't fall over.
And it's not like you had soccer boots on or anything like that, right?
No.
You're barefoot, so you have to
no,
run on that
not
thing.
barefoot, no.
No? Okay.
But we had some sort of shoes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Ouch.
No, fashion-wise, just what you had.
Yeah.
That's why you had lederhosen.
Yeah, right.
Lederhosen.
Nothing's going to
could work-
penetrate those.
Worked everywhere, yeah.
Our producer Vinnie is going, I want some lederhosen. No, he's
well,
saying no.
that's it. But everyone wears it.
I
As a
remember
kid, that
I
was-
had lederhosen and I cried every time you made me wear that,
Yeah, well,
that
that's
horrible
it.
stuff. It was so hard and it
Well,
was
that's it. You didn't.
yuck and it
wear
felt
fresh.
awful. It's no, I much prefer jeans or
You have to be patient.
corduroy
to
is what I
get-
loved. I think as a kid, I didn't even like jeans as a kid.
Well, the corduroy was the next step up from the lederhosen.
Right,
When you get
okay.
older and
Yeah,
a bit more fashion conscious.
But-
Then, yeah, was corduroy.
yeah,
Jeans, probably I was, probably 15, 16 years old before I actually
yeah,
had a pair of jeans.
yeah. Right.
That just came afterward. Before you had normal trousers, the
Made
long
from what,
trousers,
cotton or
cotton, yeah,
just
whatever.
cheap material, right? Just
Well,
really-
whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the corduroy came in, so
Mhm.
that was when around probably 10, 12.
Right.
Yeah, then the corduroy took over, and everyone wore corduroy.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember I liked the feel of corduroy. I don't know whether it looked very
Oh,
good, but
yeah, it was
was
what
just
was the
softer.
thing, yeah.
Okay, so you finished school and you walked back home with your sisters as well?
Usually not, no.
Okay.
You have to make your way home, and
Okay.
that is only for...
How long was
probably,
your walk? How long was your walk home?
Oh, was probably kilometer and a half, maybe, sometimes to your school. Yeah.
Yeah, well, not too bad then. So
Yes.
maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah,
pretty
20
close.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
no.
you ever have to avoid any bullies on your way home? Or dangerous people?
Oh, well, every kid has some bullies, comes across bullies.
Yeah.
You have to live with it. I mean,
Right.
you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
And I will always, in the situation that I'm always the smallest.
Right.
And
That's where I got it from. I was the
skinniest
weedy
one.
kid at school too.
I was always the skinniest one
Yeah.
and the smallest one, so yeah.
You were prime target?
I was definitely on the list, on the top of the list.
Top of the
yeah, so
list.
you have to live with it.
Okay.
You-
Okay.
and,
Curious. How did you live with it?
well,
So what
you
were the kind of
survive.
situations? Because that's something people still go through albeit in a different fashion. But it's interesting to know nothing's really changed. People that was part of the growing pains, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got people you get on with and people you don't.
Yeah.
What were the kind of situations you found yourself in where you actually got bullied? Give us an example, just like one situation, and how you dealt with it.
Well, usually, I don't know what example it's in.
Did they bully you at school or on the way home? Did you have some kids in the neighborhood that were targeting you?
Oh no, in the neighborhood I had no problem because I was in the group who played soccer. Yeah,
Okay.
so that was in the classrooms they had some, because it was a mixed class when I got older, so they had bigger boys,
Yeah.
and they were bullying
Right.
in the sport or so, you know. And
Okay,
then they
bit of a
officially
elbow,
can get rough. And
Yeah,
so,
and they... Okay.
and they did it, yeah. So
Okay. But you weren't, like, taken after school and beaten up or anything?
no,
like,
no,
It
no,
wasn't
no,
that kind of
no,
bullying?
no,
Yeah,
that
okay.
that didn't happen that days, no. So
Okay, right.
So basically, it was a pecking order. So once a
Okay.
pecking order is
Established?
established, everything runs pretty smooth.
Okay. Well, you managed to avoid the bullies on your way home. You got home. Now
Yeah.
what happens?
Well,
You play soccer with
no,
friends
well,
and things?
you're supposed to do your homework.
How much homework
school,
did you get?
The school is
Oh, yeah. When is it
latest finishes at 1 o'clock.
1
Usually
p.m.
around
people?
12 o'clock is the normal school day,
Mm-hmm.
and the school starts at 8 o'clock.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Early.
so average you got 5 hours of schooling every day.
Mm.
Some days you only got 4 hours, and some days you have 6 hours. Then it goes up to 1 o'clock.
Wow. Okay. okay.
Then you go home, and then you eat something.
Yeah. And what's on your eating table?
Oh well, if you
More bread on lard on bread.
Yeah, that always, yeah. If there's bread there, but my dad used to be very good at cooking out of something,
Okay.
out of nothing.
Right.
So he just made a soup,
Yep.
a thick soup, vegetable soup, apart from all the garden stuff he had.
Yes.
And he put everything in, pasta, rice, potatoes, everything basically
Right.
goes in there.
Yep.
And
You had a stew almost, right? Was it a stew?
yeah, it's a stew. Yeah,
right.
it's things.
A bit more thicker than a
So
soup.
it's like a pea and ham soup. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay. Yeah.
it's
Nice and thick. Yep.
it's very nutritious.
Yes.
And he used to do a big pot, and
Wow. That's it. Fed everyone.
so you eat probably if you're lucky, you get 3 days out of it, out
Okay.
of the pot.
Yeah.
And as longer it stays, that better it tastes, really.
Yeah, it does. Soup especially, or any stew, really, yeah.
So you might heat it up or just eat it cold. I used to just eat it cold.
Too hungry.
As it come, yeah.
Yeah. Ah.
So that was the thing,
Yeah.
And then, well,
How long did your homework take? I remember when I started school in Germany, and I remember being overwhelmed with the amount of homework I actually had to do when I got home. I think I had at least 2 hours worth of homework to do.
It used to be,
Yeah.
like in that days, yes,
Yeah.
of course. And well, I didn't do much homework. I just did the minimum.
Yeah, okay.
To get me through,
Get
but
by.
it was enough to get me through. Yeah,
I remember it was horrible.
I wasn't the person who sit down and study.
Yeah.
So I did half an hour, whatever I had to do.
Yep.
And then off.
Meet the kids at the soccer field.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done your soccer field, and now it's the end of the day. You got home. Is there a routine for baths and showers and bedtime?
You go home. Basically, when it gets dark, you expect to come home.
Right.
In the meantime, no one bothered about you or thought about where the hell is he or what is he doing.
You didn't get a text from your dad saying when
well,
you come
there was no there was no
Sorry,
telephone.
you didn't get a cowbell ringing in the distance saying, "Come home, son."
When it gets dark, I better go home.
Yep.
Or everyone.
Mm-mm.
Or the kids, it's getting dark now, we go home. That's it.
Can't see the ball anymore. What's the point? Yeah.
That's how it worked.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. And then you go home, and you wash up. In the early days, I mean, we didn't get proper housing. When I was probably 12.
Right.
So until then, we used to live in a 2-bedroom back house,
Really?
converted bloody rooms or whatever of old.
2 adults and 5 children lived in
Well,
a 2-bedroom.
at that stage, we were only 3.
Okay.
No,
right.
3, 4.
4.
We were 4. Susanna was still born in that one.
Yeah. Well, still 2
2-bedroom, but you
2-bedroom and you got 6.
the kitchen, living room.
Yeah, right.
And you had the sleeping room.
Yeah.
Where you basically was full of beds.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that was just
that's how it works.
And no bath. We still had the outdoor dunny.
Okay, right. Outdoor toilet.
Yeah. So in the winter time, you think twice before you go to the toilet.
Right. Okay. Jeez.
Because it was out there. It was freezing cold.
Yeah.
And bath. We actually used to have to carry water from the main house into our kitchen living area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had a big sink bucket.
Yeah.
And
Just
you
that
had to go into the main house where there was a tap in the big hallway there for the other apartments.
Oh, okay, you shared
Fill
one.
it up.
Yeah.
And then take it back home to your room.
Oh my goodness.
So washing.
And everyone took
washing.
turns.
Yeah. You had one of the sink, a small sink, tin or. So that's where you could wash up. Like you see in the old movies, where they have this bloody thing and the little thing there, you wash up a bit and that's it. Right. And once a week we had a bath.
Right, yeah.
So we had one big sink bath.
Yes.
Something like a bathtub. Yeah. But we had a laundry outside as well, a big laundry. That's called a wash Küche.
Yeah, the wash
that
kitchen,
had a big, what do you call it? a big in the Waschküche. It was a big room,
Yeah.
and they had the water connection there,
Okay.
and they had a big kettle.
Ah, okay, right.
Was,
Cauldron? Was it a cauldron? You know, the one,
yeah,
the big
similar
cauldron.
column. There is
Okay.
a special name for it. I
Yeah.
just
Okay,
can't
okay.
get it now.
That's okay. That's right. I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had a bath in there, and then you shared all of that, and you filled it up.
Well, that's where you had the big bath,
Yes.
the bathtub. So
Yes.
that's where the adults got in,
Yes.
and usually the cleanest one get the first bath.
Yes.
And as a kids,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
the last one.
It's the dirtiest, which
That-
is probably
that was
you,
me.
right?
That
was
was
you.
me,
You
yeah.
got the leftover.
I'll be coming out from the
Yeah.
out on the dirt road or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah. So
And-
I was the last one.
Right. And so you've had your bath, and it's nearly time for bed. Is there something you did in the evenings? Like, did you have TV then in the 1960s in Germany? Or did you have one? I guess it was
we
still.
got TV when I probably was 6 years.
Okay.
Or maybe 5 years.
Was that part of the ritual? You watch TV at night, kind of like the news or anything, or is it more?
Oh, you do. At night time, you could probably watch half an hour or so.
Okay, right.
And then you were
Back off to bed.
chased off to bed. Yeah.
What time did you usually go to bed?
Whenever you basically were told to go to bed, basically, yeah.
They didn't let you stay up till midnight though, or anything like that. It was.
No, that I mean, Dad wasn't home, Mum wasn't home.
Oh,
probably,
right, okay.
yeah,
So your 11-year-old
was
sister
the
told you it's
older
time for
sister-
bed. I'm annoyed.
older
Go and get
sister
a bed.
ran the show, yeah.
Okay.
And she said, okay.
Ah. So
Mum
when did
said-
your parents get home? When did you?
Well, depends. My dad at that time, he was a night watchman.
Oh, okay, right. Jeez.
So
yes.
he was
On night shift.
and my mum at that time, she worked in a bread factory.
Oh, okay.
So she was working there, and she was a delivery
Ah.
driver for the rolls and the bread
Oh, right.
every morning. So that early in the morning.
Early morning. Yeah.
I think it's 4 o'clock in the morning or so.
Wow.
Then she's home by 10 or 11,
Yes.
whatever.
So she was home when you guys were at school, and she had to go.
Yeah,
off
that's
again.
right. Yeah. We
And-
basically saw her in the afternoon, and sometimes she had 2 jobs. So
Okay.
yeah,
Trying to make ends meet.
at that time,
Yeah.
that was the thing.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yes.
Your
that's
life
right.
as an 8-year-old. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, that's all
I've learned a
right,
lot
yeah.
today. And,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
learned a lot about your life in those times, 1960s. You don't get to really think about these things or share them in normal conversation. So it's good to
No.
where it kind of leads. And, these are the experiences we didn't grow up with. So it's like very different. And everyone has a story to tell.
Grew up with old technology.
Yeah.
We didn't have technology at that time.
That's
So,
right.
it was all.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening, if you did, or anything like
Yeah.
that. But thank you, Dad. Awesome.